This video is about Hurricane Ian. Basically, I'm just ranting in this video, and I would like the state of Florida to get bombed and destroyed like it needs to be. Please do not donate any money to that evil state. It's God's will that the state of Florida gets destroyed. It needs to be destroyed. If you look at my screen here, this is like the damages. And I used to live in Florida, and I'm telling you right now, that state is a very, very evil state. A very evil state. It's a very evil state. It needs to be destroyed. Do not feel sorry for the state of Florida. Please save your money and tell everybody that you know this is God's will. The state of Florida get what they deserve. They thought they could plant drugs on innocent people and get away with it for years. They thought they could commit racism, sexism, mocked the disabled, kill animals. If you get your keyboard and your mouse, just go and Google the crimes in the state of Florida and see it for yourself. The evil out of that state. I have my mouse. Now I'm going to click something here, and I want you to see this here. I want you to see how evil Florida really is. You might not can see this on your end. See how evil this state is. September 2nd, 2022, a deputy is arrested. There it is. A police officer stomped a kitty to death. That's how evil Florida is. That doesn't even happen in California. That doesn't even happen in California, people. There it is, Tampa, Florida. What a crazy pile of fucking garbage that piece of shit state is. If you click child porn arrested for Florida, let's see if I can put Florida here and see how many I get pop up. See how many hits I get. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, just non-stop. Look at all this. Look at all this. Florida, 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 Florida. It's a piece of shit state. Why does anybody want to donate money to that piece of fucking garbage state? Bomb that fucking place, military. Please. They deserve everything that they get. They're an evil state. This hurricane was from God. That governor thought it was funny to mock those immigrants. His name is DeSantis, right? I didn't spell his name right here. That state needs to be bombed with a nuclear warhead. There it is, Florida flies 2 plane loads of immigrants to, there it is. There it is. Florida thought it was funny to fly these poor people to nowhere, to lie to them like it's funny. What a piece of fucking shit state. Fuck Florida. And fuck anybody that supports them. Fucking bitches. They need a nuclear warhead dropped right on that piece of shit state. Why should anybody support that garbage state? Why should anybody do that for them? Even the other states, I'm in Arizona right now, even the governor here just put them on the bus and he tells them where they're going. Chicago, New York, whatever his political enemies are, he don't like, but he's telling them where they're going. He don't want you here in Arizona. What Florida did is they went and put their nose in someone. They're so evil because they're used to lynching people, beating them to alligators 200 years ago. Fed the slaves to alligators and thought that was funny. So they don't have any slaves to pick on and punch. They go pick on the immigrants. And so they went and got these poor people and did this wicked stunt because they had nothing better to do. And God sure showed that state what time it is. Enough is enough. The evil stops here. And this right here, this hurricane, hopefully showed the state of Florida what they deserve. This hurricane, literally devastated that state. They said by far it might be the worst. It might be the worst damages. Let me see if we can look up the damages. Look at the damages. Look at this. I saw one video where the bridge collapsed. We rarely have had. Here it is right here. The bridge collapsed. I'm just laughing my ass off because I hate that piece of shit state. All they do is lie, cheat, and steal, and they lie and get away with it. Then they, so arrogant, they go out and get 50 people, fly them someplace, lie to them, and think that's funny. While they lead the entire world in child molestation. It's child pornography capital of the entire United States. And they have a so-called conservative governor. He ain't conservative. He's a deep state troll. That's what he is. He is not conservative. And he is, in fact, working closely with Donald Trump. And they are working together. Look at the devastation. And Tampa got very lucky. I'm from Tampa, Florida. I'm just happy to be out of Florida. And I haven't had any issues yet. And no police issues. No Karens. Florida is the Karen capital of the United States. All you have to do is lie and say a black guy did it, a brown guy did it, or just make up. You can murder your own kids if you're a white woman and say somebody else did it. And that person will get arrested first because the cops is going to believe that person. And the police officers, they allow these white guys and men to trade child pornography to each other because they're buying it while they go in black neighborhoods and plant drugs on innocent black men in the Jacksonville area and Jackson County. For those that don't know Jackson County, let me go ahead and spell it out for you. Let me go ahead and show you what happened in Florida in 2018. Let me show you what happened in the state of Florida. I'm ranting here. I know I'm pointing at my screen. And I'm going to type in this officer's name. There he is. Zachary Wester. He got sentenced to 12 years in prison for planting drugs on people. What a piece of shit state. I hope they bomb that fucking goddamn fuck earth ass place with a nuclear ass warhead. This piece of shit right there need a bullet right between his fucking goddamn face. Went around planting drugs on innocent people. They only got him on 67 counts, but he planted drugs on 150 people. None of those people can file charges. None of them. That happened in Florida. That was the biggest drug planting case in U.S. history. Of course, they got them all over the country, but this was the largest case in U.S. history. But that's the one where he actually got caught. That's the one where he actually got caught, see? Look at this woman, poor woman right here crying, poor woman crying. And she ain't black like me, so I should be not caring as much, but I'm still offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Look at this mess. Planting drugs on innocent people, and he was just getting away with it with his body cam on. He thought it was funny because he's white. That's why they finally stopped him, because there was over 100 white people complained that, this guy was planting drugs on them. This happens in Jacksonville all the time, in Tampa, Miami, and Orlando. But this was like an all-white town or whatever. And this officer, he would stop cars if they raggedy cars or beat up. And if you have a misdemeanor or something on your record, he would get you. That's how he knew how to. He knew how to not to get people who didn't have a record, but he started getting people who didn't have records. He started getting people who didn't. Look at this. He started getting people who did not have records. Planted drugs on this guy, and so he planted drugs on so many people. There should be the death penalty for that. Let me tell you how bad that is. China doesn't even have that problem, and they're dictators. They don't even have that problem. America is a hellhole. And that goes on in Florida all the time. In the 1990s, in the late 90s, white men and police officers were trading child pornography with each other. I was a TSA screener at the airport, and the men there were trading child porn with each other back in 2002. That was socially acceptable back then. Now it's felony life, right? That's a serious thing. But they were mostly white guys, and they were getting away with it. It's a very evil country now. Luckily, with IP addresses and I guess cameras and all kinds of new things they got today, they catch people doing bad things better than they did back in the day. But he had a body cam on, and this officer was planting drugs on people with a body cam on. They only did that because he was finally getting white people who didn't have records, and they knew something was not right. But people have been having drugs planted on them for years by police all across the United States. But this was like the largest case. And Florida is a nutcase, crazy state. If you live there, get out of there. If you don't live there, don't give them a dime. It's going to be underwater anyway. Hopefully the United States military goes in and they destroy that place with a bomb, because it has to go. Enough is enough. When the governor of a state dangles food, water, and jobs to hungry people and mock and make fun of them and dump them at Martha's Vineyard, that's enough. God, that reached heaven. And God said that does it. That state will pay for their sins. But we can stop that by not donating to them. And we can wish and hope that if a war breaks out, the nukes hit Florida first. Please spread this video. Do not give any money to Florida.